Welcome to CCRPG, where we open our virtual table and play games with some good friends. I'm Bob, and I'll be running Lancer, an RPG by Miguel Lopez and Tom Parkinson-Morgan. You can find it on itch.io. Last time, our pilots were ambushed by a well-coordinated kill team identified as belonging to the Pit Wolves. It was a hard-fought battle. Although the DBC crew eventually prevailed, they all took serious damage. Astro's mech, the deleted scene, lays disabled among scattered debris, pushed well beyond its limits. Their evidence, the frozen camera with exotic tech, destroyed during the fight. It is evident Mark Iron's crew are brutal, efficient mercenaries. But what are they doing here? While most of the kill team was destroyed, one was disabled during the fight. It has gone silent, with only faint readings coming off of it. Well, pilots, what do you do?
I don't know.
First thing, probably one thing that will happen is once the final mech has been destroyed by us, Astro, who ejected from his mech last time, and then turned on his stealth suit to be invisible, will disable it and sort of wave at his friends and say, "I'm over here." And then he'll remember he has a Omni hook, and so he turns that on, and he says through the radio, "I'm over here."
Funny enough, Astro, between you and your nearest ally, because the fight kind of migrated slowly south during the fighting, you are actually pretty far away from your allies as they continued to fight and take the fight away from you as it went on, and you hid behind some debris. So between you and your allies are 4 giant craters from some of the other mechs exploding during the combat. And between you and them is also your mech, the deleted scene, looking charbroiled.
Yeah, so Astro will just make his way towards the deleted scene and kind of poke through the wreckage, and assess for himself, how bad is this, which mechanically I know it's destroyed, but he's just gonna figure out is this something that maybe if we can transport, can we get it somewhere so we can salvage it later? So he's just kind of poking through the wreckage.
So, Astro, as you kind of poke through the wreckage, you will note that, it survived mostly. The deleted scene is not destroyed. It is disabled heavily. It's destroyed so far as the mechanic of a destroyed mech in Lancer goes.
Yeah.
What I will say is the structure is just holding together. Getting it mobile again will take significant effort. Also, did you ejected, didn't you?
I did, yes.
Yeah, so not only that, but as you kind of peer in the hole that your ejection made through the top of the mech, the cockpit is slightly in shambles from the jarring release of the ejection seat. So whenever you eject from a mech in combat, it screws up the cockpit in doing so. So you could get this mech moving again, i.e. you could use a bunch of repairs to get it up to one structure, but it'll be shambling along, but it won't hold you back. More importantly, I would like you to make a skill check to examine the damage a little bit more closely.
Okay. Let me see if I have any sort of skill triggers for that. How about just an investigate?
Investigate. I forget what the thingies on investigate say, because it doesn't investigate more of a like looking at
research
researching
a subject or study something in great detail.
If you can't find that information directly, you learn how to.
I'll give you investigate on this.
Although, what about
I actually think you'd be better off using hack or fix.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that actually. Yeah,
because one, your bonus is better, and the information I'm trying to give you is more tied to it.
I'm on board with that. So I'll roll a hack or fix. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm getting used to the new sort of. We're on Foundry now. It's a new system. Okay, I rolled a 13.
Nice. Okay, with a 13, you succeed. What you'll notice is that although the deleted scene is in rough shape, the kind of shielded core that contains Lynch is still intact.
Okay. Do I think do I know enough about it to think that if I wanted to eject the core, my AI core, I could do so without damaging?
Worst case scenario, you could forcibly remove Lynch, but it's not like a nice little canister that like a suitcase style thing that Orion can take out, right? And Artemis can still be active in. It is like you tearing out a bunch of computer systems and drives, right? They're all like connected together and shit. It would be there. It's not a simple thing to remove them, but you could do it. If you decided to leave this mech behind and not try to repair it to get it active again, you could try to remove Lynch, but Lynch would be a burden. Like taking Lynch's subsystem with you would be a burden to take with you, and Lynch would be basically in a coma while you were doing it.
He's no burden to me. All right, good to know. So let me so let me get back on the Omni hook and just call out to the rest of the team, and I'll say, is everyone okay?
Yeah, somehow. I'm gonna close in on the mech that didn't get blown up and just kind of keep an eye on it and try to record as much as I can about it.
Okay. Yeah, as you kind of like, I assume you're still like faintly hovering around.
Yeah, sure.
And as you kind of like land, like how close do you get to it?
Did we lose you, Jay?
Oh, sorry, my microphone got muted.
Okay.
Yeah, no, not that close.
Okay.
So, like, what I would consider the edge of an explosion.
Okay. Yeah. So you will note that it is the remains of one of the pack hunter mechs. You kind of get towards the edge of what you've noted is its approximate like explosion radius for one of these things. You will note there are still faint readings coming off of it, like what do they call them? I want to call it life control, but that's not what they're called.
Life support?
Life support. Yeah, like life support systems are still active. You'll see that like there is still some stuff going on there, but you can tell the mech is like disabled. Like none of its subsystems are active, all of its weapons are down. Like if any part of it is working, it's acting more like a room than a mech right now.
Okay. I guess the main thing I'm going to be doing right now then is just making sure that it doesn't activate in any sort of way then.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, you kind of watch it, kind of holding watch over the disabled mech for now. What are the other of you doing, Chimera and Orion?
I too had some interest in the mech that we didn't completely destroy, so maybe I'll help investigate it with Steve. Oh my gosh, I almost said his old name for a sec. I'm gonna help investigate that.
Okay, so you climb out of the giant crater that you're in from all the explosions that you were in the middle of at the end of last session.
Some I might have caused.
Yeah, you know, there were a lot.
Toss the drill aside.
Well,
you're smoking stick. There's no drill head.
Your drill is roasted. I imagine you have to like drop some of the slagged bits off of it as you just like reholster the parts that are still functional in the hopes of repairing it later.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, you can make your way over there as well. Orion, you're kind of already over in that direction. What are you doing?
I'm going to walk over to where COMET's destroyed mech is, because that's where he appeared, and make sure he's okay.
Yeah, okay, you'll kind of walk past as you notice Steve has taken watch up on the pack hunter. And yeah, you'll see Astro kind of like perched atop his toppled mech, like peering in through the kind of opening in the side of the mech, rummaging through systems and like assessing things as you get there.
Okay, I know it's bad, but how bad is it?
It could be worse, honestly. You know, it's disabled, but it could be repaired. The only thing is, you know, it's not exactly in a convenient location. You know, for me to, for any of us to try to repair it. If need be, maybe I can at least remove Lynch from the mech and take it with me, but that would be difficult as well.
You know, at this point, Comet, you may need to find a new sponsor if you keep on destroying their mechs.
I think they like when I destroy their tech. Gives them interesting data to analyze. Like, this is what happened when it blew up.
Okay, I don't want to be there for that conversation, though.
Well, I am making assumptions here.
Sounds like a very hopeful assumption.
I did make it clear when they sponsored me that you know, if you send this tech my way, I'm gonna be putting it right in the line of fire, and it may blow up. So I think we sort of have an understanding. Maybe they thought I was joking, though.
Yeah, maybe they hoped you weren't going to go on one of these missions. All right, so what do we do?
Well, before we got attacked, I did try to get a message out to Ken Talonflare, that we were indeed being attacked. I don't know I don't know how he took it, if you know he decided to act on it, but now that we're safe for the moment, I could try to follow up with him.
Well, if that's what you want to do, I'll look over at the other mech. Hopefully that thing's ferrous liquid has been destroyed, or maybe it doesn't have it. I don't know. I don't know why it didn't blow up. Yeah,
that's very odd. It's the first mech that didn't like self-destruct after we defeated it.
Just to confirm, the other pack hunter exploded when we killed it, right?
That is correct.
It's been a bit, so I just wanted to refresh my memory.
I think, didn't both of them blow up on top of you, though, Chuck?
We don't talk about that.
Okay. I just wanted to confirm.
But yes.
Hey, Chimera, how's your mech doing?
I'm down to my last structure. I mean, to be fair, I haven't spent that much repair cap, so I can get 2 structure back, but, you know, we need to set aside time to do that.
So right now, there's like a noticeable break in the gait of your mech as you try walking around. It's like, it's a little shambly, is what I'll say.
If mechs could get drunk, it would walk like a drunk mech.
That's funny.
I'm as both Steve and Evelene are approaching the other mech. I'm just gonna say, we don't know if the ferrous liquid is still active in that thing, so just pay attention to your heat sensors. If that heat rises, get the fuck away from it. Thermal sensors. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how to approach this. Like, I mean, is the pilot still alive? I mean, is he gonna just detonate it as soon as we get close, or?
Life support's still on. He could still be alive, but the systems are all down. So if he is in there, he's either trying to detonate it and unable to, or waiting for the time to get out, or passed out.
Yeah, maybe he got knocked out by the impact.
Reasonable to think. I just kind of hope Talonflare gets here before this mech is gone, because it's the only proof we have right now.
So who's gonna check it out? You or me?
But why do either of us?
I don't know. I mean, Astro's in no shape, and Dyne's busy helping Astro.
Yes, but that's under the assumption that we must check this mech out. It could explode.
What do you mean by check it out?
Haven't you exploded enough today already, CHIMERA?
Look, it all turned out all right. And then you hear like a mini little bump noise coming from Chimera's mech.
Look, if you're looking to blow up again, you can be my guest, but I'm not getting close to this thing.
Evelyne's become a explosion junkie. She needs that next hit.
It's like, look, I'm a miner. We blow things up all day long, okay?
This is the everyday grind. I'm just saying, I mean, we lost the camera. I mean, we got the next best thing. We got an entire mech of the stuff that we don't have to keep frozen. It'd be foolish not to go after it, or at least see what we can salvage.
Pound foolish.
I agree, which is why we should wait for Talonflare to get here.
All right.
If it's intact, it means something. If it blows up, it's useless to us.
I guess. I mean, I'm not sure what they're going to be able to accomplish if they get here. I mean, the issue still lies that like we need to figure out what state this thing's in.
If Talonflare did get some sort of engineer, maybe they'll know how to analyze it.
Are you saying that I'm not an engineer, Astro?
No, I just mean...
Is that what you're saying?
Of course not, Evelene. I just mean, like a nerd engineer. You're like a blue-collar, tough woman engineer,
I've
you
never heard
machines.
I've never heard it explained like that, Todd. All right. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, if we get attacked or something, it's on you. Well, okay, no, that's a little uncalled for looking at your current situation.
If we get attacked, Comet, you're gonna have to fight them off.
It's my fault because I didn't want to.
With your charm and acting skills,
we'll all stand over here and let you deal with the problem.
Aim for their weak points, okay? Got it?
But yeah. Speaking of that, let me try to raise Ken right now. If I could tune to his frequency on my Omni hook, and let him know what happened.
Okay. It takes you a little bit of time because, like, previously you contacted him via your mech, via your normal comm systems. The Omni hook, it only has, you're only able to get him on an audio connection. But so basically you call him like it's a phone.
Yeah.
and Ken answers it and goes, Astro? Is that you?
Yeah, it's me.
What's going on? I got like a hurried alert that you were being attacked, and then our connection cut out.
Yes, we were attacked. We almost were killed. Somehow we made it out alive. After I spoke with you, Donahan called me, and he wanted to work with us, specifically my mercenary group. His only condition was I hand over the camera we were holding as evidence.
Well, you weren't going to do that, right?
No, we refused him, and he didn't like that, so he set his dogs on us.
Okay.
And that's when I called you and said we were being attacked. So,
okay, good, because I didn't want to go through all the trouble I had to go through to get a hold of an engineer for nothing.
Well, I've got good news for you, and I've got bad news. What would you like to hear first?
There's a long
The camera
pause.
was destroyed.
Does Mark just say that?
What?
Or Steve,
Who's
I mean,
Mark?
sorry.
Yeah, I don't think
There's no Mark. There's never been a Mark.
I think since
Steve, a complicated
hi,
name
Mark.
to remember. I don't. Mark.
I think because you're on the Omni hook, it's just like a single connection you have right now.
Alright.
Okay.
Makes sense.
There's just a long silence on the connection. Just
Yeah, I don't know where I got Mark, by the way.
probably Mark
weird.
Iron. We've been saying
Yeah.
Mark.
Oh
a lot.
yeah, probably. When brain is scrambled.
I guess the bad news.
All right. So the bad news is they almost killed us all.
You said that.
And they destroyed the camera.
Fuck. Well, that sucks.
But here's the good news. We were able to disable one of their mechs. In the past, when we fought the pit wolves, like back in right before the explosion.
You fought the
when we were
pit wolves before?
Well, we fought. Maybe I'm jumping ahead. Earlier, before the explosion, when we were investigating that signal, we fought someone. I don't know if they were the pit wolves. I just assume they were part of that outfit. But they were using the same technology, the same liquid that would repair their mechs or blow up if destroyed. You've seen the footage, our combat footage.
Yeah.
And every time we fought a mech with this technology, if we destroy or disable one of their mechs, usually the liquid would take over and self-destruct. It's kind of a
Some Black
protective
Ops
measure.
shit.
Yes. But we're able to disable one of their mechs and it hasn't blown up.
Okay.
So,
Well, good. I guess bring us that then.
yes. I don't know how to bring it, though.
Ah. Okay. Well, we looked into seeing what we could do when we got your emergency signal. I have some good news and bad news. Which one do you want first?
Oh, okay. Turn the tables on me, why don't you? I guess I'll go with the bad news.
Okay, the bad news is that hostilities have revved up a little bit, and right now, the Undercity, we can't get there.
Okay.
We never really had a presence there. We never really had access there. If we were going to get down to you, we'd have to go through the central giant hole in the ground. There's been a lot of debate between all the pirate teams, and right now, the only people who have access are Kingfisher and Smack.
Okay. What's the good news?
The good news is I found an engineer. One of my bandmates turns out is a genius engineer.
Excellent.
He wasn't on planet, so I didn't consider him, but I got approval to call him down from orbit.
Hey, here's the other good news. You don't have to worry about a big refrigerator anymore.
Why?
Because we don't have to have this mech frozen in order to keep the ferrous liquid intact.
Okay, well that's good. So how are you going to get here? We still need you to get to a place where we can meet up with you.
Okay. Well, is there any chance you can come to an agreement with Kingfisher since they have access to the crater?
Those guys don't like us. They're kind of a bunch of stuffy assholes.
I agree.
I mean, the closest we came to an understanding was when all our people got hurt and we worked together to like get them out of the crater.
Doesn't have
the
to be
last time Galleon talked to them, he threatened to suplex their leader.
Well, I would say you talk to them, not Galleon.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of authority you think I have, but negotiating with the other pirate crews isn't what I get to do.
Okay, I see. Got it. Yeah, I was just thinking because I think both your guys and Kingfisher, at this point, you're both a little, wary and suspicious of Smack, and you're just waiting to see what they're gonna do. And you're nervous about what action they could take. So, kind of an enemy of my enemy situation, maybe.
Listen, I get that, but you have to understand that's the operation that we all, as, part of the Free Space Pact, were already a part of. Don't attack other pilots when you could attack corpos instead. We kind of already operate in that area, and still we skirmish constantly. So it's not the most foolproof plan, and no one knows what Bete Noir is going to do, so that just raises tensions.
Okay.
What I can say is, if you can somehow get up through that crater and get here without getting intercepted, then I can buy you time to have my engineers look at it. He'll tell me what he makes of it, whether or not he thinks it's involved in the explosion that happened. And if I can get that confirmation, I can probably persuade Galleon to get on side.
Okay. All right. Let me see what we can do. We're going to have to assess the situation we're in right now and figure out how we want to proceed. And I'll let you know.
Yeah, sounds good, Astro.
All right. Over and out.
So what did he say?
So he said, good news and bad news. The good news is he found an engineer that could analyze. Originally he was supposed to analyze the camera, but I think he can analyze this disabled mech. Bad news is they can't get to us right now. Too much hostility going on. They don't have access to the crater, which we use to get in here. And we're going to have to make our way to them.
Oh, shit.
But he did seem very open to if we could get this hard evidence to them.
Wait, how do they not have access to the crater?
What's that?
Who has access to the crater then?
Smek and Kingfisher.
Why don't we just talk to Kingfisher?
That works.
Yes, I was thinking that too. I tried to suggest maybe White Rabbit and Kingfisher enter into a little special temporary alliance. But given the politics of the whole situation, that doesn't seem feasible. So we may have to reach out to Kingfisher.
Speaking of
ourselves.
Kingfisher, Which of y'all is like most on guard for being ambushed right now?
I think myself, considering...
What a fun question.
Yeah, isn't it?
I don't like that question.
What I'm getting at here is like, you guys were just ambushed. Obviously, at least one of you, hopefully, is like on guard about like more people coming. Who is like looking out to see like what's around you?
I think it's more likely to be Steve than Dyne, because Dyne was more worried about Astro's current predicament. So that's probably where his focus was.
All right, then Steve, what you will notice is you guys were starting to head towards the crater. That was kind of your initial plot, is to like head towards there, maybe meet White Rabbit halfway to see if like they could help you haul the camera back. As you are kind of like getting your sensors up, trying to see if you have any contacts nearby, you do see there is a Kingfisher patrol just south towards the crater.
Like heading towards us or just there?
It's
like
moving
stationary?
around. It's hard. They're like patrolling. You could see them come this way. Like based on their patrol route, and like you can tell they're starting to fan out around like the underneath of the crater a little bit. In a very like military like secure area, move through it kind of way, right? Like it looks like they're finding spaces, securing them, moving through it based on their movements and what you know of the terrain in that area. You could conceivably see them come this way.
All right, I'll relay that. There's Kingfisher scouts there. I personally think that we should contact them as soon as possible and let them know, and just be honest and tell them that Noir does not trust them. We talk to them, but they trust Smack less. And that we've talked to everyone, and that if we can get them all to agree, then we wouldn't have issues here. But
Yeah, that sounds good to me. And if this patrol is nearby, it's probably better to make sure like we contact them and they don't come upon us as a surprise.
I think if we make a deal with Kingfisher, and this engineer from White Rabbit also works together with us, I don't think Kingfisher are the type of people to take him hostage and then suddenly use him as leverage against White Rabbit. I could be wrong, but
Yeah, they got some sort of honor bound thing. I don't think they'd do something like that.
Well, or maybe if we can get Kingfisher to escort us out of the crater and let us pass to White Rabbit territory, come to an agreement that we would share our results with them. But then again, I don't. Yeah. Then again, go ahead.
Hey, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
You've been mostly a solo operative for a long time, working for Ren, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Like I assume you go on missions with like her bodyguards and stuff, like the few people she works with personally from time to time.
But yes.
But you've been in the shit before.
Okay.
What I will state is you don't have the best sensors in the world. So if you can see them, they should see you as well.
Sure.
You will note they are not beelining in your direction, though.
Sure, yeah. They probably think we're Smack. Oh, well, they might have seen fighting going on here, too. Either way, it just, to me, means that we need to contact them quicker. But
Okay.
Yeah, I would
let's
make that contact now rather than at gunpoint.
Let's do it. Just a reminder for myself, was my point of contact for Kingfisher, like, what's his name? The king of Kingfisher?
The person you talked to in Kingfisher was their leader.
Yeah. So I didn't have like one of his subordinates go
No,
through me.
there's one other member of Kingfisher but it wasn't like a leading lieutenant or something like that.
Did we ever get a name? I don't have it in my notes for some reason.
Remind me the Kingfisher leader's name, because
Crux Croy.
Yeah, Crux Croy.
Crux Croy.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I have that noted down. Yeah.
Oh, it's at the bottom of my notes.
He would be insulted. It needs to be at the top.
Yeah,
of course.
You should fix that immediately.
At least bolded.
I don't think I can bold it in a notepad, but okay.
It sounds like someone blaming their tools.
Yes. Anyway.
All right, I will attempt to contact him on my OmniHook.
All right, you contact the command, because that's kind of like the contact number, like the command center for Kingfisher. It rings through. You will get someone kind of on the line to like confirm who you are, basically, like a screener, basically, to be like, who are you? They identify themselves as Knight Errant Ston, Ston.
Okay.
Very
cool.
And we'll just be like, who are you?
Okay.
Identify yourself is actually what they say.
Who goes there?
What's all this then?
I'll say Astro Jamin for His Majesty Crux Croy.
He sneers at you. You can hear it over the audio. Yes, I know who you are. Crux Croy is busy. There's many other things going on here. A few rogue operators messing things up around here. Why do you deserve to speak with him?
Well, last I spoke with him, he indicated to me that if we had evidence of a nefarious plot from SMAC being underway, he would want to hear about it. I have information that would greatly concern him, and I require his assistance in bringing it to light.
Wait while I ask Crux Croy if he will hear your petition.
Thank you. While I'm waiting, just curious, with a little extra fiddling with the OmniHook, do I think I could conference in the rest of the gang?
Yes, yeah. If you make an effort to do so, you can do that.
All right. So while I'm on hold, I'll conference.
You'll open up a conference line and get them all on, and make sure it doesn't drop the original line when you transfer them into the conference. Yeah, absolutely. After a while, it is just Crux Croy. His signal comes on, and Crux Croy will just be like, Astro jamming. Astro jamming. What is it that you want from us?
I like that he pronounces my last name Jamin.
Yeah.
That's more proper. I'll say yes. It's Astro, and you are on with the rest of my crew. And we have pertinent information that I think you'd be interested in. Earlier, we discovered evidence of a strange technology that SMEC had been using with some of their mercenaries. A real quick out of character. Do we know the term ferrous liquid? Is that something that...
It is a weird metallic liquid, so that's how I've been describing it.
Okay. So I'll say... And I've sent out these details publicly before, but it's a kind of weird weird liquid that can affect repairs on technology, but when it is in danger, it self-destructs. We recovered a camera using this liquid, and we're bringing it back as evidence. However, we were...
Evidence of what?
Evidence of SMEC's dealings.
Dealings with what?
Dealings with a third party. They have, as I'm sure you've heard, been taking advisement from outside parties, Mark Irons and Donahan. Mark Irons brought in his own mercenary group, highly trained, professional, using technology that I can't imagine where they would attain it. It stands to reason that SMEC is looking to upset the equilibrium, the status quo that you have set here, and they're planning something big.
Astro jamming. We are all attempting to grow beyond the limits of our bounds. There is nothing inherently wrong with that. We acquire new assets, we train, we obtain new technologies. Everything you've described are things that any of the crews would currently be doing, and we expect them to do. We hone each other against... We hone ourselves against each other like knives.
You expect them to blow up each other and make giant craters?
Yes,
too?
I believe this technology is responsible for the explosions that have directly damaged the peace between your factions.
Is a different nature. Do you have proof that it was SMEC then who caused these explosions? Because right now, they have given us reason to believe that you are responsible, and Bête Noire.
Yes, they're just using us as scapegoats. I also spoke with Bête Noire. They don't want to upset the peace either. It is only SMEC that is trying to start outright conflict here. So what I'm proposing is this: after we were ambushed, we were able to disable one of their mechs that uses this liquid technology. Unlike before, it did not self-destruct, so we have this technology intact. White Rabbit has an engineer that can analyze this technology. And I believe once he does, he will be able to prove conclusively that the explosions were caused by this technology, thus directly tying SMEC to these acts of terrorism.
If you can tie those things together, then it is a different conversation we will be having.
Very good. So what I humbly ask of you, sir, is that you allow passage of this engineer through the crater so he can reach the Undercity where this mech currently is.
We have agreed to strictly limit who has access to the crater.
And that is a very wise policy. I would ask that you let us pass through so we can retrieve this engineer from White Rabbit and then come back to examine the mech. You would, of course, your patrols around the crater would, of course, be free to examine us and investigate as we enter and leave. We will consent to any searches. We only want what's best for everyone.
So what you're telling me is you are in the Undercity right now.
We are, yes.
You probably got information about us from one of your patrols. We can see them. Also, I think it should be noted, we didn't discuss this as a group, but we have no interest in giving this technology to any one group. And personally, I think all of the groups, if they are going to get anything from it, should have access to it. You guys, the balance of power should not be tipped in SMEC's favor, and I think you all should have access to the information that's gotten from it. If you all agree with that.
I am in full agreement. My associate speaks very wisely.
Indeed, he does. I will have trouble doing anything publicly to help you with things as they currently stand without provoking smack.
Indeed, and you can count on our ultimate discretion.
Are you asking me to hide my actions like some coward?
No, oh, no. I just believe there is wisdom in choosing which information is withheld and which information is not.
Astro jamming. I don't think it will be wise to go in and out of the crater so cavalierly. Even if you were to somehow obtain passage out, I would not suggest trying to go back in. Things are developing on a day-by-day basis. You may find it more difficult to get back than it is to leave.
Well, would one of your patrols be able to assist us in moving this disabled mech out of the crater?
If you were to find a way to leave, I don't see any problems with working with you once we know what's going on. Astro, jamming, you yourself have done good turns. I imagine you'll be able to find someone to help you. I wish you a good day. And he ends the call.
Asher's like, okay. Does that mean he'll help us, or or he won't stand in the way of us moving the mech out of the crater?
Sound like
I think that he followed your advice, and that withholding information can be a wisdom of its own. This is a public line, Astro. Couldn't
it's not
people
like
have gotten on it? Or
it's not like a public line like everyone.
No,
can
it's.
hear.
I mean, it's not broadcasted, but like,
Right.
couldn't people
But
hack
yeah, it's
into
like,
it? Like,
not
yeah.
like an encrypted line. Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotcha.
KESTRAL, as the one keeping watch over... Oh, actually, no. ORION would get this sent to his mech. ORION, you get an encrypted transmission request. All you know is that the sender has the call sign Gawain.
Oh, cool. Man, they're pulling from Arthurian legend. These guys are great. I'll accept.
All right. On the other side of the call that you open is a woman covered in bandages. She has a military uniform, an eye patch, and you can tell is sitting in a cockpit. And she will say, "Is this ORION?
This is.
We've detected you on our sensors during our patrol.
Okay.
I've just gotten information from Artor that there are a group of people down here who need some time."
Indeed. That would be us.
Prepare yourself to get out of here and contact us when you are ready.
We will do that.
And thank you. She ends the call.
Is she the person I helped save?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Building
I'm going to
relationship.
relay this information to the guys. I'm like, okay, let's make our decision how we want to do this quickly.
Okay, so, Evelene,
Yes.
how do you feel about trying to push that mech and move it a little?
I mean, just like my mech.
No, with your get out of your mech and push it yourself.
Thank you, Astro. Anyway, I mean, I guess. I mean, I'd like to see what the state of the pilot is first. Because if the pilot's going to be in there, then like they could just, detonate as we're trying to move this damn thing.
Well, there's no working systems on it at the moment. I don't know how long that's going to last.
That's
but
what I mean.
We need to at least make sure it doesn't explode if we're going to move it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down with moving it to the best of my ability. But I'd rather eliminate some unknowns before I start putting my mech at risk. Which mainly means putting myself at risk, but yeah. You know what I mean. I just want to eliminate some variables. How's that?
Sure. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a great solution here other than just poking it and seeing if it explodes. So if you've got any ideas, I am all for them.
We're dancing around this too much, and Evelene just walks over to the mech.
Quick question.
I stop.
Sorry, this is out of character. I have a quick question.
Then she's still going then.
Yeah, basically. Go ahead, Todd.
If I were to get into someone else's mech, can I run mech actions from there?
There are rules for operating someone else's mech that you're not licensed for, and it's basically you're bad at everything while you're doing so. So you would have malices for doing so.
He's destroyed 2 mechs already. He's already bad at his own mech, so
that's true.
Cold-blooded.
I can't dispute that. Because one of the invade options I have is disable life support. Which in combat, that just means the target receives +1 difficulty on all saves.
If I was building fail-safes into experimental technologies and mechs like this, one of the first things that I would program is the pilot can no longer access the mech or pilot in some way.
Yeah.
I think what is keeping this thing from not exploding is the fact that life support is still going. The moment life support ends, that mech should be like, well, I'm done. Right? So I'm a little concerned about doing that.
That's a fair point. Maybe I won't try to disable life support.
Now,
disrupting power systems, maybe
another
something
thing
like
I will
that,
ask
making sure they stay down?
is just to get some information here. Are you guys going to try and do any repair work? Are you going to try and get the deleted scene up and running, or you guys are in a bad way right now? That's my question. You've been told to contact Gawain's team, that when you guys are ready to leave, and they would buy you some time. You don't know what that means exactly, so I just kind of need to know. Obviously you're going to do this stuff with the mech, but I don't know if you're also going to try and fit in getting repairs in.
I'd like to, but
for the deleted scene, I don't have any repairs left.
Well, remember that the rules are that only if your mech is destroyed, you can take repairs from other people to get it back up to functional.
Yeah.
We did that in the very first session we ever did, where CHIMERA's mech got destroyed, and people were able to donate repairs to get it up and running again.
I forgot about that rule.
I could contribute 2 repair. I want to at least get 1 structure back. But I can give you 2 other caps for your mech if one wants to contribute the other 2.
I'm only wondering because, COMET's mech is not an insubstantial size, like you won't be able to get it out for free. If you decide not to repair it, you're leaving it. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Because like you guys got other shit to deal with. It would be incredibly hard to tow Comet's mech out of here if it wasn't repaired first.
And here's the other thing. So maybe Astro will. Let me switch in character. So Astro will say, "Yeah, I think Steve's right. We probably don't want to disable life support. I can, however, if I'm able to hack into his mech, I could jam the cockpit. So at least we can ensure that if he's still in there, he can't mount or dismount."
That's a thought. Maybe we do that.
As long as you're not affecting main systems, I think it might be all right. Because I mean, these mechs are able to take quite a bit of tech invades before they would render themselves as useless. So,
best chance of success for doing that is probably getting my own mech, doing some field repairs on that and getting it operational again. How long did
two structures to get a repair to someone else? Was it
a full repair? It takes 4 repairs to repair a destroyed mech. If the wreckage of a destroyed mech can be obtained, the mech can be restored to working order while resting with 4 repairs. Anyone can contribute repairs to do this, meaning that a wrecked mech can be repaired even if it has insufficient repairs remaining. Repairing a destroyed mech like this is the only time pilots can share repairs. Once repaired, the mech returns to 1 structure, 1 stress, and full HP, no matter how much of any of that they had before.
So how many repairs would Comet have once we got him up and running, or would he have none?
He would have 0.
I'd still have 0.
It's better than nothing.
That's what
Yeah.
I mean.
Does Orion, do you have any that you could?
I can spare 1 repair because I need to use 1 on myself, or I'm going to get structure the next time I get dinged.
Yeah.
I can spare 2.
I can spare 2 also.
Oh, that's too many. So, you know what? You just give 1, Evelene.
Okay. Yeah, sure. That's fine.
You tend to light on fire a bit more than some of us, so maybe you need that more than.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'll give 2, and then you guys each give 1. We get his mech running. We invade it. We try to move it.
All right.
Plan?
Sounds like a plan.
So Evelyn will do a 180 and like walk a little faster than she did to the mech because she was a little scared.
So you guys can still take this time as a short like a field repair, basically. So any repairs you guys want to affect on your own mechs in the process, you can do now, as well as like venting your heat and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So like what I imagine is like the reason this works is because you're only giving the deleted scene the most basic parts that you have like spares of to just get it working again. Like, wow, this leg, like this kneecap is busted completely, the leg won't bend. Well, I have a motivator that I can give you that will work for now for the leg, right? But any like custom systems the deleted scene has, like you guys don't have those parts, why would you? You know what I mean? So it's like that's why it takes this amount of repairs spread across all of you just to get it moving again, basically.
And so one more time after this happens, this will bring my mech up to full HP with 1 structure and 1 stress.
Full HP, 1 structure, 1 stress. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll click the... okay. And then all the... I assume all the mounts and systems that were destroyed are still destroyed.
If they got destroyed.
Yeah.
I think not ever all of your stuff got destroyed.
No, not all.
Okay.
Three things got destroyed, so I'm keeping track of that. So let me just look up the rules for ejecting, because ejecting inflicts a status on my mech.
It does. It's like impaired
it
until you have a full repair.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess I can clear my heat too.
Yeah, that's something that should just happen naturally.
I'll just say while we're repairing and getting things going, like we need to find a sponsor here before we fight Smek again.
Yeah, probably. Here's a question. I did the math wrong. I can actually get another structure back. Would it be better to have 2 or 3 structure, you guys figure?
Is that a
Why would it be
question? What? What?
Why would it ever be better to have 2 structure instead of 3?
I would say get another structure back.
Yeah, fair.
Just remember that at 2 structure, if you structure, you roll more die.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You have a larger chance of dying instantly. Yeah.
I don't remember how I don't remember if we were changing this or not. Does overcharge not reset?
Overcharge reset. Yeah, there was a let me go to the wear and tear thing.
I think we found out that it didn't reset between scenes, it reset between full repairs.
Yes.
Which sucks.
So during a regain all repairs and use alone. Blah 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 blah.
Hey, can we just talk about how much that sucks, by the way?
Yeah.
Heat? What's heat? I'm sorry.
I'm
gonna need to
clear heat. So what you get on a rest is you clear all your heat, clear any statuses or conditions, and restore half of your pilot HP. And then you can spend mechs to repairs to do things. And then if you have the 10 hours for a full repair, you get restore mech to full HP, stress, and structure. Clear all statuses and conditions, repair any destroyed weapons or systems, recover CP, regain all repairs of and uses of limited systems, get new equipment. Yeah, where's... I know the thing that we were looking at. I'm trying to find it. Because there's a difference between like when overcharge goes away. I wish I still had this pulled up. Might just be under the overcharge stuff. Oh, yeah. So under overcharge, it says heat taken, blah, 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 since the last full repair. According to uses since last full repair. So full repair is when your overcharge resets.
I'd like to file a formal complaint on that rule, but yes. All right.
So you actually have to have spent a full repair in order to get it.
A full repair means a 10-hour rest.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like when we get our core bonuses back and everything else.
Yeah, and remember, you can only do a real full repair if you have the equipment to do so, is how we've been rolling it. So, like, while you're repairing in the field, even if you were to stay here for 10 hours, you don't have the equipment on hand to do a full repair. So you wouldn't be able to do a full repair here because there's no supplies here for you to do it with.
Yeah, thematically, I just think of it as you're pushing your mech beyond the normal limits, and in order to fix any of the little problems that overcharging may have caused the core, you need the time to actually fix those, and it's not just like cooling down where you're venting heat. Because you're pushing the mech beyond its normal limits.
I get that thematically. I just think from a gameplay standpoint, like, turns take a long time, so, like, overcharging is one of the ways to, like, speed up combat. So it's like, oh, that kind of sucks that you can't keep doing it. But I mean, I get why the rule exists.
In the amount of time I spent to do 2 structure, I could just do a full repair and get so much more back.
What? No,
but full repair takes 10 hours.
It takes 10 hours and equipment to get a full repair.
I guess that's true. Never mind.
What we're doing is the equivalent of a short rest. A full repair is a long rest, assuming you have the equipment to do so.
Mm-hmm. Never mind. Sorry, I'm juggling.
Never change, Chuck. Never change.
I'd like to change, please. Thank you.
No, I like you the way you are.
All right, so let's go through and see what everyone's doing. Comet, firstly, you're just getting up and running. So I imagine this looks like you getting all the like individual like generic parts you can get from everyone and just trying to get like the pieces moving.
Yeah. Like I'm testing out the leg actuator and saying, okay, that works. Let's move on to the next thing, and just like troubleshooting and getting it up and running.
And also, because you ejected, it's a single-use system for emergency use only. It leaves your mech impaired. You only remove this impaired, and you cannot inject again once you've done a full repair. Basically, the ejector system is broken, which means even sitting in the cockpit is more uncomfortable than it used to be. So, like, everything is a little messed up in here. And also, the ejector seat doesn't work anymore. So...
Yeah.
I know this is me being a little bit meta here, but the next time, if we do get into a battle and you're still like this, Todd, you should use your core power like at the start.
Or, do the thing that you jump on other people with.
That's his core power.
Yeah.
Oh.
You should what from I'm on the actions page. It says right here, self-destruct. That's an option that you can.
I'm spending 3 repair cap, giving 2 to Evelene, and using 1 myself. By the way, so
nice.
I'll be at full hit points.
So you're just getting hit points back, right?
Yeah, I'm just using repair for repair.
All right, so KESTRAL, you're down 3 and up to full HP.
Wait, why am I getting 2?
He meant me.
Yeah, sorry, I did mean you. Excuse me.
So you're still 3 structure and 3 stress, right, KESTRAL?
Yeah, because to get a structure back, I would need to spend 2 repair.
Yeah.
Oh shit, maybe that's better than saving or repair. I hate being at half health when we repair. Let me think about that for a second.
Okay.
I might use it to get the structure back instead.
All right, well then I'm going to look at COMET here. You're at 1 structure, 1 stress, full HP. How do I take the mech destroyed warning off of here? Undestroy.
Nice.
You're permanently destroyed.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that instead. I think it makes more sense to get the structure back than get half health back.
Okay, so
I'm
you're
go
gonna
down to 0 repair and then stay at 7 hit points then.
Okay, 7 hit points, but you're back at 4 structure.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. ComCon. He was destroyed. How do I undestroy your mech?
I don't know.
Guys? I think so.
That makes more sense for you.
Yeah.
For me, I'm at 2 structure, but I'm at 5 HP, and I only have 2 repair caps, so I opted to full heal, because 21 HP is a lot better, I think, at least in my case. Because I can, at least with the 1 repair cap, I can at least do 1 more full heal if needed. Because with 5 HP, I would get dinged and then just get structured immediately again. So...
May need to just reprint my mech and then manually set it.
Suddenly, out of nowhere, a mech
structure.
falls from the sky.
Yeah.
So that's how new 3D printers work.
Yeah, no, I just got 2 structure back.
All right, so CHIMERA, you're going to get 2 structure back, boop, boop. Yep. And then that spends 4 repair cap.
Yep.
And then you gave 1 to COMET.
That's right, yeah, and I gave 1 to COMET.
So you're down to 0.
Indeed.
All right. Orion, where are you at in your repair?
I vented my heat, so that resets that to 0.
Uh-huh. I assumed everyone vent their heat.
Yeah.
I'm just going to assume no one has heat. Okay.
I used 1 repair cap to bring myself to full. It just made the most sense because I would go up to 3 structure, but I would be at 5 HP.
All right.
So I would just get structured immediately.
Did you donate any to COMET, or are you still at 1 repair cap?
They donated, so I did not need to.
Okay.
I believe.
So you still have 1.
You needed to donate 1.
Okay, so
Evelene-
I'm actually at
Evelene
0 repair
donated
cap.
1, I donated 2. Yep.
Yes. Okay. So I am just going to edit that. So
Wow. You guys are out of repair. Like your entire team
Yeah.
is out of repair.
I'm sure we
You
fine.
have stretched your resources then.
Yep, to the limit.
All right. You spend the time. You comment you're gladdened that you were able to actually, kind of like set your chair back in the cockpit, like click it back in. It's a little uncomfortable. Like the walls are a little singed from the ejection and stuff like that. Like the canopy over the mech doesn't close as tightly or as securely as it used to. It's a little ramshackle in here.
Mhm.
But when you kick things on, the engine turns on, the batteries light up, and your terminal reads, status normal. So you're back online, and Lynch reactivates.
I'll say, Lynch, how do you feel? You okay?
I feel like I lost some time somewhere. Could you find it for me?
I think it's lost forever, but I can try to catch you up on what happened.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'll give him a little brief synopsis of everything that happened since he blew up.
Since he put the onus on him, COMET. He blew up.
You're the one who blew it.
Yes, I think I understand the situation.
Good to have you back, though.
It is good to be.
It is. All right. I will now turn my attention to our disabled friend. I'll say to everyone, okay, I'm going to attempt to jam the cockpit now, if we're ready. No further objections.
None here.
All right.
All right, are you ready for me to go through this high problematic issue here for your skill check? Okay, so name your goal. You're gonna jam its cockpit, right?
Well, yeah. So I was just going to use my invade option, which is literally jam cockpit.
Yes, but there are problems here. You're doing that thing mechanically. We're going to run this as a skill check because there are consequences not covered by your action that could take place.
Okay, gotcha.
So I've decided that the consequences of screwing this up are that by trying to jam the cockpit, you will cause something within the mech to shake loose and its explosion stuff to come back online.
Oh,
okay.
no pressure.
That's really bad.
Can anyone give some help on this roll, or is it solely Astro?
You just have to tell me how you're trying to help.
I don't know.
I'm guessing Dyne would be the best one to help with out of all of us, but I don't.
So that's like a consequence that would happen if, like, I rolled above a 10 but below 20.
No. This is going to be a straight roll.
Okay.
This is going to be this is not a quote unquote dangerous check. You will either succeed and do the thing you're trying to do, or you will fail and the explosion stuff will come back online.
Okay. Gotcha.
You have one difficulty on this because your mech is a little messed.
That's right. But
I am giving you an accuracy because their mech is actually disabled.
Yes.
So those will cancel out. Right now, you're looking at a straight roll.
In a question, since the goblin, I know this is a skill check, but I'm just trying to game the system as much as I can.
Please.
Since the goblin gains 1+ accuracy on tech attacks, is this still considered a tech attack? And can I use that accuracy?
Yeah, this is a skill check, but because the goblin is good at those things, it makes sense circumstantially to give you accuracy on this roll because of that. So yes.
Okay, so then I'll roll with 1 accuracy and do a hacker fix.
If anyone has a mech that's pretty good at it, we could also try to kind of DDoS it a little bit by just pinging the mech a ton so that it gets confused on what's happening while you're doing it.
That's a thought. I mean, I'm awful at it, but
I like the idea. It's like I can recruit you guys as script kiddies. It's like, okay, you don't have to know what you're doing. You just run this like command while I do it to run interference.
I will allow you to add an extra accuracy for that, so you can use 2 accuracy on this if they are pitching in that way.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, now COMET, you're not hacker fixing. You're doing a systems check using the deleted scene.
Okay.
So this will be a systems check, which is a +4 for you, I believe.
Yes.
So it'll be systems with 2 accuracy.
Okay. I feel good. I feel good about this. Let's do it. 2 accuracy. Hold on. So I can add 1 So I'm looking at my the Foundry thing, and there's a checkbox to make it accurate. That only seems to be 1 accuracy. Okay.
So no. Look, like, first of all, that check mark is just for accurate. Go down to the bottom, see other sources. Just check that up to 2. So you have 2 sources of accuracy.
Okay.
But for you, because it knows you're impaired, it's already taking 1 away from you. So actually, you want to add accurate because it's accurate. That'll even you out. And then add 1 from other sources for it being disabled. And then another from your allies helping you. So accurate plus impaired plus 2 other sources should bring you to +2 total.
Got it. Okay, thanks. All right, let's roll it up. I rolled a 20.
A 20 total. Hey, you rolled a 10 plus 4 plus 6. COMET, you get in there, and because you rolled so well, I'm going to give you something extra. You get in, and you go to lock the mech's cockpit down so they can't interfere. What you notice when you're in there is that there are just a bare few systems online. You think maybe the only reason it hasn't blown up is because it thinks like it doesn't know the situation it's in. Like the mech got disabled in such a way that it could think the fight is still happening, and it's just waiting for like one of its allies to win the fight and then recover it, right?
Yeah.
What you could do is send a spoofed signal to the mech indicating, hey, go into repair mode. We're towing you out of here, as if you're one of its allies rescuing it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
So
like go into safe mode.
Yeah, basically you basically send, like, you lock down the cockpit. And then, you're able to spoof a signal from its allies, basically baying, hey, all clear, we're towing you back to base. And it goes into repair mode. And you will notice, anyone who's been watching, KESTRAL specifically, because you've been watching it, that its core temperature drops slightly.
I'll say to the others, okay, I jammed the cockpit. I also put it in like a safe mode, so we should be able to tow it with, and it'll kind of just interpret that as its allies towing it back to base.
You know what? I don't care what anyone else says about you, Astro. I think you know what you're doing.
Yeah, a lot of on-the-job experience, and and a lot of help from oh, good Lord. Can't remember names today.
My friends. You just start singing. He gets by with a little help with his friends.
Yeah, I get by with a little help from my friends. And our previous operator, who I hold in such high esteem. I dare not speak her name. Torsay, though, if you're going to force me.
Why would you say that? Saying this in character, that's a weird thing to say, Astro.
All right, so we should be good. It's very, very strange technology, though. Part of me wonders if this mech isn't entirely autonomous.
Yeah,
Maybe there's not even a pilot inside.
That's what I was going to ask, Astro. Are you seeing any signs of an actual pilot inside?
Oh, I didn't. I can't,
You'll see that amongst the systems that are online. Like I said, there's a life support system.
There is a
online.
life support, yeah.
All right.
I'll say, well, there is life support, and I don't see why that would exist if there wasn't a pilot inside. I guess he's just helpless in there. I think, like Steve said earlier, it's experimental tech. They probably don't actually want their pilots have too much autonomy over all their fancy bleeding edge experimental tech. They're just the guinea pigs running inside of it. But anyway, I think we're as good as we're gonna get. Orion, do you want to contact your friend?
Yeah. Say if we're good to go, I'll contact her now.
Hold up. Don't we need to let White Rabbit know?
Yes. Well, I'll also good call. I'll call Ken.
Yeah, Ken here. Go.
All right. So here's the situation. We kind of licked our wounds, got some initial repairs going, and we called Kingfisher. Kingfisher is agreeing to let us go through the crater. And I think they're gonna kind of help us. I told them that you guys have an engineer that will be able to analyze this technology, and I think I told them it's going to point back to SMEC being responsible for all the explosions. So they agreed to help out in this, in this capacity. At least they're not going to stand in the way, and we're going to be able to tow the mech back to you guys.
All right, good. I'm going to send you some coordinates to meet us at then.
Perfect.
Well, you still need that refrigerated truck?
I don't think so. I was able to stabilize the system. It's in like a cooldown mode. So it the liquid doesn't react unless it thinks it's under threat.
Man, this shit just sounds weirder and weirder.
You're telling me.
Well, I got my buddy here, Michael City Limits. He'll be ready when you get here.
All right, can't wait to meet Mr. City Limits.
That's his name?
Yeah, Michael City Limits.
I'm writing that down in my notes with question marks.
Your name is Chimera.
That's not my real name.
I kind of doubt that that's his real name. Could be, but...
I mean, the other guy you've been talking to's name is Ken Talonflare.
That's just a cool name.
Well, I assumed that was his call sign, too.
We have, Curry...
Like, I'd be Steve KESTRAL, right? Like...
I mean, our engineer is called Curry Septemberish, lest you forget.
That's also an awesome name.
City Limits isn't that weird to me.
I kind of liked Septemberish. I thought that was a pretty cool name.
I like all these names. I'm just saying that tracks to me.
Just wait until you hear the names of all the other band members in his band.
Oh boy.
Crap! What is our support guy now? Ruination Conditioning. He claims that's his real name. That is silly to me.
That's his real name.
That's his government-mandated name.
That's what his parents called him.
They're also hackers.
No,
they were just normal people. They just knew what he would be.
He bestowed upon himself, and it's his real name. And he won't hear otherwise. Anyway, so all right, so I'll say, all right, we're on our way now. Thanks, Ken.
All right, call ended.
Cool.
All right, I'm gonna call Gawain.
All right, you contact Gawain. Yeah, is this Orion?
This is Orion. We are ready to go.
The area is clear. We are currently patrolling the crater. There are SMAC forces about. We will not be able to help you directly, so I hope you can get out on your own. We'll try to provide a screen so SMAC doesn't get close.
Sounds good. And for what it's worth, I'm glad you're okay.
Thank you.
Do we know which mech is her mech? Like, is it green?
You haven't seen it.
Darn it! I want to know because it's a character from the Green Knight. I'm like, please
I know.
have a green mech. Please have a green mech.
Listen, I didn't make a company called Kingfisher filled with people who act like knights and name one of them Gawain as their call sign without knowing these things.
Fair.
All right, let's move out then.
All right, so you guys tow the mech. How are you towing the mech, by the way?
Great question.
I assume with my grapple hooks, and I just kind of drag it, or I don't know. It's probably too heavy to carry.
No, that is a reasonable assumption. You can totally drag it with your tow hooks and stuff. Your grapple hooks are quite effective in this manner. You get it all connected up, and you get this thing out of here. It does take you a little bit of time. What with the added weight of the thing you're taking with you, but you are able to get to the crater. As you do, you can see some signals spread out on your map. You are getting IFFs from being sent to you directly from Gawain's team, so you can see like where they're stationed around the crater. You can also see there are definitely SMAC signals out there in this crater. How do you get out?
All right. Does it look like, examining the map, I would like to see if we can plot a route that just keeps us like within range of Kingfisher, so they can more easily screen us and go around any SMEC forces, like give them a wide berth. So even if it's not the most direct route, taking no chances.
Okay. What I will say is you're still going to have to climb the sides of the crater, even doing so. What's your plans for getting out of here?
Well, KESTRAL can fly.
I can climb.
You can climb. So what's that going to look like as you're climbing? Are you just going to climb and tow it behind you?
More or less. Like, I can use some hooks to pull myself up and other hooks to pull. Or actually, maybe what I'll do is I'll climb up, then pull it up once I'm at the top. I'm not sure how high the crater is.
The crater is pretty deep.
All right. Well,
it collapses into a below ground city.
Maybe there's like footholds. Like, I can do like one step at a time.
All right. CHIMERA, are you ready to make a skill check with your mech?
I guess. I feel like, so mechanically, my grapple hooks don't take weight into effect, so this shouldn't be an issue, but I understand what you're going for, so.
It is already, like, you can climb, but you're climbing with additional weight you were not meant to climb with. And that weighted object is technically pretty fragile. So
my concern is damaging this mech.
The skill check is not to see can you climb out of the pit carrying something heavy. It's can you get this specific explosive object out of the pit without complications.
Can I do a few different things? Can I make like can I fly up ahead and then make like a guide rope so it's a bit easier for CHIMERA to climb with?
That's what I was going to ask. If someone can help guide me.
And then can I also like tie like something else to the mech and like help support it as it's climbing so it's like less jarred?
Oh yeah, to at least balance it as it's hanging. Yeah, totally.
Like I won't be able to like carry it with my flight, but I think like just even a tether pulling it.
You could ballast it a little bit so it's not swinging all over the place. Totally. Yeah, that's definitely worth an accuracy.
Like a spotter in mountain climbing.
What can I climb next to the disabled mech as we're pulling it up and just, well, I'm small and it's bigger than me. I was gonna say like I don't know how much. Yeah, I'm just a little guy. I don't know how much help I could be actually, but kind of what I was thinking of is I climb alongside it. I keep it like manually stable, kind of like I'm holding out a hand and holding it. Make sure it's not bouncing around too much. I don't know if that...
Yeah, right now, there's not a whole lot more you're adding to the situation, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, for what it's worth, Todd, you got a really good roll with the hack, so, like, you've done a lot already.
Yeah, the fact that it's in this position is already good. Well done, Astro.
Yay, I helped.
He helped.
I can attach myself to it.
I'll make things worse.
I can make it heavier.
Why would you do that?
I could charm it. Charm it.
You already did.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you already did.
All right. So it sounds like I got at least 1 or 2 accuracy from what we discussed.
You have 1 accuracy given to you currently by KESTRAL.
Okay.
And this is probably going to be a hull check because this is just some physical activity.
Oh, I'm good at those.
Yeah, so you're just, getting your mech to do the work.
So it's a hull check plus accuracy. So it's a +4, and I get to use this really nice tool for rolling dice now. So D20 +4 plus accuracy. Here we go. 14.
Hey, there you go. With a 14, the important thing is that it would have been good either way, right? So basically what happens is you pull it up, and CHIMERA, you're doing a good job. KESTRAL makes it a bit easier for you, so you're not like struggling with it. And yeah, this isn't as stressful an experience as it could have been for you. You are all able to find a section of the crater that is screened effectively by a bow and her team. And yeah, you're able to get up the wall here. It doesn't hit off of anything important. It doesn't get damaged or dinged. And by the time you get to the top, you're able to like pull it up over the lip. I imagine this is a part where KESTRAL is very helpful in making sure you're just not scraping it against the wall as you try to lift it over the lip of the crater. But yeah, you have successfully gotten back up into the upper city.
Nice.
With the recovered disabled mech.
We did it.
Well done, peeps.
And between here and your rendezvous point with White Rabbit, there's actually no major issues. You guys are already basically in White Rabbit territory based off of where you climbed up. So yeah, like, are you talking about anything or doing anything like on your way there? Are you preparing for anything?
Dyne is just trying to stay vigilant because he knows we're in White Rabbit territory, but he's also just super wary after getting ambushed twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
COMET is just going to be monitoring whatever systems he can remotely of the disabled mech. So, like, he'll have his sensors like pointed to it. In other words, so like if anything is happening, if it seems to be heating up, he's gonna hopefully get some advance warning.
And Eveline's literally just focusing on not dropping the mech.
Fair enough.
And not banging it against anything.
Evelene has one job, and she is hyper-focused on that job.
I'm not going to screw up my one job.
So
You had one job.
by the time you get to the location indicated for meeting up with White Rabbit, you do get to a place where there is like a ad hoc, like, little like tech tents, and like you can see a bunch of computers and stuff. They've like cordoned off an empty area of kind of like open street between a couple of tall buildings, and have added a couple like little temporary set down walls to kind of provide like almost like a little temporary outpost where they told you to meet up. So you're not kind of like back towards the main outpost of White Rabbit. They've kind of set up like a little field, like a field shop out here. You will note it is heavily guarded. As you pull up, immediately you are locked onto by like 6 mechs and a bunch of autonomous turrets.
I'll like try to open comms with them and say, this is Astro Jamin. We are here to meet with Michael City Limits. We have some tech I think he's gonna be very interested in analyzing.
You will get a response, and Ken comes on. Hey, yeah, I'm glad you made it here. Oh, man, I did not expect it, actually. Cool. All
You
right.
and me both.
Tow that scrap heap into the center of our base here. We're gonna see what we can do about it. Is there anything I need to know about?
The only thing that I would caution is we think the pilot's still inside. I've jammed the cockpit so he can't get out. And we have reason to believe that he only has limited abilities in controlling the mech anyway. I think the mech has sort of taken over right now and is in protection mode. So, yeah.
I don't feel like we can stress this enough. These all have exploded in the past.
Yes,
and that is a concern.
It bears repeating.
I don't want you to think we're delivering you a bomb, because we are delivering you a bomb.
This mech is highly volatile, and this liquid acts as a protection measure and will self-destruct if the mech thinks it's in trouble. So, yeah.
Another communicator comes on to the call and will just say, oh, yeah, I think there's going to be some sort of exothermic reaction. It sounds like it deals with heat in some weird way. I'm interested to take a look. Go ahead and bring it in. Can you deal with the pilot somehow, though?
To Evelene privately, I said, see? Nerd.
I feel like I should be offended, Astro, but I'm going to allow it.
I'm saying you're not a nerd. I'm saying you're a cool, rough and tumble lady.
Did you just say that while the comms are open?
I said it to her privately. To Evelene
Okay.
privately. Yeah. So I'll say I don't know what else we could do to deal with the pilot. I've jammed his cockpit, so he can't get out.
Wouldn't you all want a hostage anyways? I mean, it's kind of a...
That's something Ken can deal with. I want the tech.
Yes, and if you're able to get the tech and maybe neutralize it, at that point you could probably deal with the pilot himself and take him hostage. But for right now, and I'm not guaranteeing this, but for right now, I don't think he poses much of a threat.
Flash forward, and he's a huge threat.
Yeah, I shouldn't
we don't
say
know.
these
He could
things.
have like a grenade on him or something, and then when he wakes up, he pulls the pin, right? Like, I don't know. But
I don't know why Astro, has this urge to put his foot in his mouth. Anyway, so do you have what you need?
Hold on. So wait, what are you doing exactly?
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll say, knowing all this, are you okay if we tow this mech in directly?
Yeah, go ahead and bring it in. We're ready for you.
Okay. So I'll just tell Evelene, yeah, like let's bring her in. I assume there's like a circle of like, or like a perimeter like of like rabbit security or whatever. So we're gonna like kind of cross the threshold. You know, I think once we get there, I'll ask Mike City Limits. Are you on foot?
Yeah, he is in one of those like tech tents with like a bunch of equipment, basically. That's where he's talking to you from.
So once we like kind of cross into the perimeter, I'll get out of my mech, and walk to the tent.
He will look over to you. He is like average sized dude, short hair, little like tuft of a hair on his chin. He's wearing like a tech uniform, and he has like a flannel long sleeve like tied around his waist, and he just like waves at you distractedly as you come in and goes, "Hey, you must be Astro."
That's me. You must be Mr. City Limits.
Yeah, that's me. Ken said you got some tech shit going on here, and it must have been really important if I had to fly down here, so.
Yeah, so how much you know already, or do you need me to brief you on everything?
I mean, in some ways it's worth hearing in your own words, because some of it sounds a little far-fetched. You're claiming there is, the way you describe it, some sort of semi-sentient metal liquid that decides to repair certain bits of destroyed things, and if is in danger will explode. Is that about it?
Yeah, more or less. Those are the highlights. You know, I don't know if the liquid itself.
Huh? Okay, great.
I don't know if the liquid itself is semi-sentient, or maybe it's just like really well integrated into the rest of the systems, so you know it's able to react quickly to problems. I also I should point out, I think the same liquid is what caused the explosions that happened in the past few days, the big explosions that caused all these craters.
Well, if they can do that, it's going to be important for me to test their yield. What kind of a size of explosions do you normally see out of these things? He points past you at the collapsed mech on the ground. That thing, about how big is the explosion off of that?
Pretty normal mech explosion size, isn't it?
It would be for like a self-destruct style explosion. It seems like they just do that on their own. But yes, Kestral's correct.
They did cause like a crater, right?
Yes.
Like a small crater. When one of the mechs just blew up.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's how I'll describe it. It's like a pretty normal size explosion if you were to initiate a self-destruct sequence. It left behind a crater. So big boom for sure.
So, hard to say whether or not it itself is exploding or causes a expedited meltdown in the reactor core if it's similar to a normal mech explosion. You're saying that you think this also caused the large explosions? From what I understand, and please forgive me, I'm new to the planet's surface here, you're all implicated in causing those big explosions, aren't you?
Yes.
Out of character, though, Astro, remember, we did see the bomb.
But the bomb... the bomb was like a huge cylinder of that liquid, wasn't it?
Was it a huge cylinder of that liquid? Were we able to figure that out?
I might be misremembering.
I just remember it being a cylinder. I don't know if we actually proved that it was that liquid, though.
I thought it had the liquid in and it was sort of like charging up.
It was charging up. I'm not sure I remember the liquid.
Yeah, I might be jumping to conclusions. This is fair enough.
I think all we know is it's probably similar tech, not necessarily the same tech.
All right, so yeah, I'll say that. I'll say, well, I don't know exactly how the explosions were caused. What happened? And yes, we were implicated in this, but we were just being framed by Smack, and I think most people kind of understand that.
Cool.
But a lot of people also don't have any reason to stick their necks out for us either. But anyway,
yeah,
that aside, we were investigating some signals, some strange anomalous signals in the Undercity, and we found, I guess you could call it a bomb, that was charging up, and it exploded. I don't know if it used the same liquid, but I do think it's fair to say that this tech is highly advanced, and it may be related to whatever they're using in their own technology, in their own mechs.
Okay. So we don't know for sure if the big bomb, if it had this stuff in it. You don't have even a guesstimate of how much was in there.
I could tell you how big the cylinder was.
I mean, that'll give me an upper end limit, I guess, if it was filled floor to ceiling.
We have
a video, yeah.
Yeah,
we have footage of it.
I'll send that over to you and you can review it. I should also mention, that reminds me that if this stuff is filmed, it gets scrubbed out.
Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna have to see what's doing that.
And I can point. I can show. I'll send over our combat footage, and I can point out the artifacts where it's being scrubbed out, because a lot of this liquid is visible, on the exterior of the mechs, but it doesn't show up in the footage.
Huh.
But you can see that there's something missing.
Yeah, you got some weird shit here.
Yeah, no, I'll just open up my I'll just send over if he has an email address or something, I'll just send him the video.
Yeah, you can yeah, he's like, hey, yes, send me that as an attachment. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. He gets it. He opens it up on one of the many screens he has pulled up in this little command center he's set up here. He's like, okay, yeah, no, you're right. That's weird.
Yeah. I'll say, there's the bomb over there. I'll just point to the screen.
Well, I got some work to do. I guess I know what I have to do. Well, I'll tell Ken I'm getting working on this. Is it safe to approach?
It's safe to approach. I put it in a safe mode. The cockpit is jammed, so the pilot can't get out. So yes, it's safe to approach, but I can't stress enough how volatile this can be. And if you just got to be very careful if you're accessing the systems or anything like that. You don't want to trigger it.
Gotcha.
I've spoofed the signal so it thinks it's in it's being towed by allies right now. But if it perceives any sort of threat or intrusion attempt, I can't say what will happen.
All right. Well, there's a person in there. I'm gonna have to really go into depth to figure some things out. So can you get them out of the mech?
I don't know. I suppose maybe I can try to maybe I can reach
Also,
them.
access to the cockpit might be really useful in my tests.
Okay, so perhaps I can open a channel with them and communicate directly, and we can negotiate a situation where they.
You're not just gonna like pull them out.
Well, I mean, this is a hostile, so I don't know what he's gonna do if I open the cockpit.
I just figured you all could handle it. Okay, whatever.
We'll review some contingencies here.
All right, sounds good. Like I said, I'll tell Ken I'm ready to work on it. So, you got stuff to do. Feel free.
Okay. I'll leave you to it then, and I'll see what we can do about the pilot.
You can see he's pulling up the files that you've given him so far, and you can tell he's already had like some of the things he has set up in the yard that are like doing scans on the mech.
All right. So I'll walk away, leave him to it. And I'll just radio to the others. All right. The engineer guy. He said it would be really useful if we can get the pilot out of there, and that's probably something we're gonna have to do eventually. So, any ideas?
Is it? Can't we just have that be White Rabbit's problem and let them have the hostage? I mean, even if he's not a SMEC employee and he's part of Mark Iron's crew, like, he's still a hostage.
Well, they can do whatever they want with the guy himself. My concern is more with how to extract him safely without him sabotaging anything.
Yeah, see that's the part that I want to be their problem.
Well,
but
I guess we could kick the can down the road to them, but I mean, if they screw it up, it becomes our problem too, because we've just lost the only way of clearing our name.
You see, as you're walking back, someone walking past you to the tent carrying a coffee.
I'll nod to him.
They nod back.
Watch, he's the most important NPC, and we just ignored him.
Big gulps, eh? Well, see you later.
Regular or decaf?
Do I recognize the guy, or is it just like a random dude?
Member of White Rabbit. As you watch them, they go set down a coffee next to Mike. Mike nods. Michael nods at them, takes the coffee, sips it, keeps working.
He's a gopher.
Well, here's a question.
He's an unpaid intern.
Is it obvious how the pilot gets in and out of the mech? Like, is there like an obvious door to get in?
On this mech, I believe so. Yes. Yeah, it's right in the chest.
Okay. I don't know. I think we just gotta open it up, and I mean, what's the worst if we just force the door open? What's the worst that can happen other than the pilot?
It explodes.
Well, no, I mean, like, is just like
that's always the worst that can happen in any dealing with anything with this mech. The worst case scenario is it explodes.
Thank you, Astro. What I'm trying to say is, like, will it disable your hacking to isolate the cockpit if we open it? That's what I'm trying to ask.
I mean, we could try to force it open. I could probably. It might be easier if I go in there and unjam the cockpit.
If we unjam it, they could just set it off immediately.
Well, he didn't do that before.
I mean, there's been enough time that if the pilot was unconscious, he could have become conscious. Assuming he's still alive, that is always a possibility that he's dead.
Yes.
Whatever. Let's just. I mean, the mech thinks it's in repair mode. It shouldn't go off by opening the cockpit. Let's just get it to open and then figure out what's happening.
Yeah, let's just get it over with.
I mean, the worst case scenario, I think, is that he has some sort of explosive device on him, but I also think he would have triggered it already. So
yeah.
Yeah, my only other thought was maybe we could try to open a channel to him directly. Tell him, hey, look, here's your situation. You're a hostage. Don't do anything stupid.
Yeah, but if we open a channel to him directly, he could probably just trigger the self-destruct on his own.
Yeah.
I also don't think warning him is a good idea either. If this was any other mech, I'd say let's run electricity through it to disable him, or maybe kill him, whatever. But since it's this mech, I just think we open it and pull him out.
Yeah, I'm gonna head over to the mech then, and then hey Steve, can you come in your mech? Because I'm thinking if something were to happen, I feel like you could probably just pull me out pretty quickly since you're small and quick.
Sure.
Before we go through this, just like general knowledge questions about what I know, both about this mech systems and mechs in general. If you just force a door open, is that something that can do? Are there safeguards in place, fail safes?
You can force the door open. There could be fail safes. You don't know.
Okay.
I kind of figure you would send a signal to the mech to open it. You got it into repair mode, right?
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
That's a thought, yeah.
But I thought Evelene said you were worried about me unjamming the cockpit or something.
I was thinking about forcing it open, but I forgot that you could literally just send a signal to open the door.
Okay. Well, that's what I think I want to do.
That's probably a lot better. And I would still send Steve in because if they have a firearm or something, shooting a mech is going to do less damage than a human.
Can we get some white rabbit grunts to hold guns, at the cockpit in case this guy tries something?
Yeah, I mean, they'll show up. You got 5 guys, all with varying SMGs and assault rifles that are completely non-standardized, just around it in a semicircle aimed at the cockpit.
All right, great. So, do I think is this going to be a skill check, or do I think I know enough to just unjam the cockpit and get it open?
You can unjam the cockpit, yeah.
Okay.
Is anyone going to be near it when the cockpit opens? What's your plans when the cockpit opens?
Okay. Do you think we should just ask the white rabbit grunts to go in and take him in?
No.
They're not going to agree to that.
Yeah, also, if
I thought
it does
you just said you wanted
it
to be their problem.
I do, but if we're the one initiating the opening of the cockpit, then we're the ones responsible if that thing explodes and the grunts die.
I'm just saying, after it's open and there's a pilot who's taking him in, I think they should.
I mean, that's fine. We can give it to them if they want or whatever.
Yeah.
I also, what is he going to do? Run from, our mechs? We just open it from a ways and see what he does. See if he climbs out, right?
So we'll stand outside, the blast radius of what we've seen previously.
Uh-huh.
That works.
Why'd you say that way? It makes me nervous. And
I just think it's funny. You're hey, bunch of people not in mechs, go stand in the blast radius and aim assault rifles at the cockpit.
No, I'm saying I want them to stand outside the blast radius.
They're not going to be very accurate at that distance.
Probably stormtrooper accuracy then.
I'm not concerned about this guy getting away either.
You have to imagine this explosion is big. It's a big explosion. Yeah. If they stand on the edge of that explosion and aim at the cockpit, it's not that's not close enough for SWAT actions. You know what I mean? That's shooting at a target from a distance ranges.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
So you haven't warned them about get out of the explosion radius or what that explosion radius is. You asked them to aim at the cockpit. So they're all standing 10 feet away from the mech aimed at the cockpit.
Okay, then I'll tell them. Let's back up. Just to be safe. Let's back up when I open the cockpit. If nothing happens, then we can start to move in.
The guys like look at each other. One of them nods at you and makes a hand signal, and everyone like falls back a little bit.
All right. You guys should all be disturbed that I'm the one giving tactical orders right now.
Always have been.
All right, so you have five white rabbit grunts aimed at the cockpit. You all are just outside of explosion radius that you've seen before, and you're going to try and open the cockpit.
Yes.
And then just see what happens. You're not going to have anyone at the cockpit when it opens.
Correct. And is everyone like everyone? I want to get input from everyone. Good plan, bad plan, yay, nay.
I mean, I think it's fine. We open the cockpit, and then he either jumps out and we chase after him, he jumps out and starts shooting and dies via suicide, or he's unconscious and this has all been a complete waste of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then I'll give like a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I press the button.
Okay,
type in the code.
now, after you've done that successfully, I need a skill check from somebody. This skill check will be reaction speed. Who wants to make a quick decision? Are you all in your mechs, by the way?
Agility. I've got the agility for this. So I'm in my mech. Yeah.
I'm in my mech because it's easier for me.
So you have access to mech-sized weaponry, is what you're saying.
I do.
Yes.
Okay.
Oddly worded, to go on.
I just don't know if you want to be slinging mech-sized weapon rounds at this thing.
I feel like Dyne would not be in his mech.
I'll probably be outside as well.
Although technically I don't have access to any.
You're kind of assuming that I plan on shooting something too, though.
Yeah, I know. I just want to know who wants to make a quick decision when
I
this.
will.
Okay. So, what happens is, I need a reaction time check.
Was that agility?
Yeah, you can make an agility check. Absolutely.
All right. Do I have accuracy for any reason?
I mean, you're prepared to do something, I assume, as opposed to like out of the blue.
I'm expecting it.
You're a cool guy.
I don't know if that gives me accuracy.
You're not. Are you prepared? Like, what would give you accuracy if you were prepared to take an action? Is there an action you're prepared to take as soon as the cockpit opens? Or are you waiting and seeing what happens?
So I'm unconcerned with weapons that this guy has. I probably should be, but I'm not. So what I'm expecting to have happen is for the cockpit to open and him to jump out or eject and me to attempt to grab him or the chair or whatever and fly up quickly into the zone and grab him.
Okay, perfect.
That's what I'm expecting.
You can have accuracy on this check.
All right. It's 11.
Okay, that'll be a success.
Okay.
You will
Glad
be
I have
able
the accuracy because I rolled a 1.
you will be able to successfully do that if it makes the difference.
Okay.
So what happens is the cockpit opens and instantly the pilot inside jumps out to like bracing himself against the inside of the mech door and pulls out a rifle. And before any of you can react, even at full speed from this distance, 3 bursts of fire and 3 soldiers are down.
Wow.
This guy was ready, and he is a crack shot. These people stand no chance against him.
All right, and then assuming my
Yes.
action goes off after.
He is braced against the inside of his mech. He did not jump out. He basically is using the ridge of his cockpit as cover. Now this has only been the first 10 seconds of him acting. Mm-hmm. So a giant mech flying at him full speed is still going to take him off guard a bit, and he won't be able to do much against you. But I need to know what you're trying to do to him. I
mean, incapacitate, immobilize, I'm just It'll probably be rough. He'll probably get injured, but I'm attempting to like grab him.
Okay, so
my neck isn't huge, and my hands
to take him away, basically.
Yeah,
got it. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, there is no stopping it. It's just, yeah, unfortunately, you underestimated him a little bit. You're able to get in the way, and as soon as your mech's in the way, his pilot weapon does minimal, if any, damage to your mech. He was too occupied with doing as much damage as he could. You grab him bodily, and I assume, based off of what you were prepared to do for your speed, is you haul him up into the sky, basically. Is that correct?
I will if he still has access to like his gun and is able to shoot.
Yes.
If he's
yeah.
Like if his arms are pinned, then I don't have a reason to fly into the sky.
No, he's struggling against this the whole time.
Okay. Then I can just pull him away.
Yep.
You know, use the other hand to disarm him, and then hold him out to like the White Rabbit people that didn't die here and let them do what they want to do with him, I guess.
All right. So I will need you to make one more check then, Kestrel, since you're the one who's engaged him. As you grab him, you disarm him. You see he very swiftly reaches into his jacket pocket, pulls out what almost looks like a giant injection pen, and he lunges at your mech with it.
Lunges at my mech with it.
Yes, you're holding him with his free arm. He reaches into his like jacket, pulls out, and maybe calling it an injection pen is underselling the size of it. It looks like almost like an iron pipe that has like a big kind of like, it has like like almost like an injection plunger at one end and some sort of brake canister on the bottom, and he's like lunging at your mech with it with his arm. He's trying to hit you with it.
This might kill him, but I'm okay with that at this point. I'm going to do like a jerk motion with my hand in the mech to like swing him to the side. This is either going to knock him out, concuss him, or snap his neck. I'm not sure.
This will be another agility check.
Sure. 16.
Nice. Okay. You get to see what would have happened, though. So, basically, you pull him away from the center mass of your mech as quickly as you can, and the jerking action does, like, send him, like, you know, basically concusses him a little bit, like you said. But he drops the injector thing that he had. As it like drops to the ground, you see the end shatter off in a weird fiery way. Like the part that he was trying to hit your mech with almost burns like thermite. Mm-hmm. And then beyond it, like after that thermite burns off of, a weird silver liquid like launches itself out of the device and burns a giant hole through the ground beneath you.
Very good.
Yikes.
It is a up close and personal anti-mech weapon for pilots. It basically causes a breach and then ejects like a corrosive fluid into a mech, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you successfully dodged that. By the time you pull him back up, he's dead?
Unconscious. Not conscious, at least.
I'll set him
he's gone limp.
Down.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to set him down on the ground and call Dyne over.
Dyne is busy trying to do anything he can for the 3 soldiers that went down.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, Dyne, go ahead and make me a doctoring check.
5. Damn.
Can I help? Because I imagine I'm nearby.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense. Like, I would just been like, do what you can, like, you know, like, try to stop the bleeding. I would just call out instructions as best I can to Evelene, who may or may not have some basic first aid experience.
All right. Unfortunately, since you've already rolled a failed check, I'm going to need Evelene to make a separate check.
That's fine. What kind of check? It's just
you tell
regular, me. Cool. Stay cool under pressure is the best I've got, I think.
I'm going to allow that for this. You won't be as effective as if
sure
Dyne had succeeded, but that's an appropriate skill trigger for this.
Okay, so no bones, just a straight stay cool, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Not much better, 8.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the soldier that you were up against was ruthlessly efficient. By the time you get there, all 3 soldiers are basically gone.
Okay. I tried. I will walk over to the other soldier that was just brought down and assess him.
It seems he is dead.
Dyne's just going to say, it's a good thing he's dead. I probably would have wanted to kill him myself right now. I'll just say, he's dead.
As you assess him, it seems he is still bodily intact. You don't think he snapped his neck or anything. As you examine him a little bit more to find the cause of death, you will note that his tongue is stained black.
Ooh, possible suicide pill?
Maybe.
As you check for that, you will note that one of his back molars is cracked open.
Fantastic. This guy's a real pro.
Is that standard issue with SMEC, I wonder?
Maybe not
would I have seen this before, like this specific type of suicide pill?
You will have seen it with what I will call the more paranoid people that you've worked with on the Outer Rim before. Most of the people who had them that you've known haven't needed them. You know what I mean? It's like people who are like, oh, the government's out to get me. Like, I have a ton of knowledge in my head. I can't let them have it kind of people who kind of got it done themselves. But you do know this is something that some people might outfit their people with. But usually the only kind of people who would carry this kind of thing would be like deep ops kind of people. So you're not sure why this guy would have it. I mean, you have some idea of why this guy might have it. It is, again, another sign that, something's up with these pit wolves.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. And I'll just say, well, he's been dealt with, I guess.
Well,
anything?
At least we got the cockpit open.
I'll just look over at the white rabbits. I'm not sure it was worth the cost. Oh well.
Yeah, they have taken action to start to clean the place up. Get their people bagged up to take away and stuff like that. You have successfully gotten the mech here. You have disabled it completely. It is now open for examination. So, hey, one of the biggest problems you had to solve is taken care of.
Yeah.
And before we end this session, I will tell you, Ken basically just contacts you and says, hey, it is going to take Mike some time to get this all scanned and tell us what he thinks about it. We are going to give you access back to the DBC in the meantime, so you can access your gear and equipment, but they will not give you your fuel back.
That is fine.
Fair. Yeah.
So what they have said is they're going to release the people they had captive, which is basically just give them back to you because they basically just had them under house arrest on the ship. And they're going to let you turn the ship back on and access your ship again. But yeah, they drained the fuel when they impounded it. They're not giving you that back yet, and pending the results of whatever they find, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're going to call the session there for now. And when we pick up next time, we will come back in to see what you guys do, meeting back up with the rest of the DBC crew, and what you guys find from the examination.
All right.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right, cool. Well, we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.